here's what I know. I've done this all over the world. I've done it in Russia, I've done it in Honduras, I've done it in Nicaragua, I've done it in Haiti, I've done it in Dominican Republic, I've done it in Israel, I've done it in England, I've done it in Sweden, I've done it in Norway.
Mexico.
Excuse me?
Mexico.
Mexico. I've done it in French Polynesia, on the island of Tahiti. People want what we have and what we know. They want it. They just don't know it. And you know why they don't know it? Because nobody's told them. So you have a choice. 3.5, 4 years at Life University, Life West, NYCC, National College, Barcelona College, AECC in England. No matter where you go, you invest all that time, you invest all that money, you graduate oftentimes with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and you have a choice. Conformity is killing us. It's killing us. Because we conform to the social norm. We conform to what they tell us in school. We conform to what everyone else thinks we should do. I believe this guy has practiced outside of that box of conformity. When I sold my practice on Long Island in 1992 and moved 352 miles north to a little town called Stowe, Vermont, with 4,000 people, I made a conscious decision at that point. I was going to tell the truth. I was going to tell the story, and I wasn't interested in conforming to what the Vermont Chiropractic Association was saying chiropractic was. A subset of medicine, a therapy for back pain. I wasn't interested in that. I was interested in telling the truth as I knew it. The truth for me, because the lens that I looked at the world through was a lens of possibility. It was a lens based on innate intelligence. It was based on the fact that I knew from my own personal experience that the body is created and designed to heal itself. It's designed to function at a certain level. It was designed to adapt. Homeostasis. So on April 27th, 1992, after living in Stowe, Vermont for about 3.5 months, I opened up my practice. And I had a choice. I could sit there and wait for the phone to ring. I could wait for something to happen. Today, a group of us went to a community of indigenous Mexicans. I heard there were 60 families there. I heard there were 300 people living in that community. When we got there wasn't a whole lot of evidence of 300 people living there. Was there? It was pretty sparse. And we get to this, I don't know, community center or whatever it was. A couple of people hanging around. When we first drove into the community, there were several people sitting underneath a tree. But we drove past, we stopped for a second and drove past them. And we stood around. And it wasn't as if the hordes of people were descending from the hills. They weren't. So what did we decide to do? Go out into the community and meet people and start telling the story. We didn't see a whole lot of people. But we saw way more people than we would have if we would have stayed in the box of that little community center. But this I know for sure. We transformed some lives today, didn't we? What happened when you gave that first knee, chest, upper cervical adjustment? Today.
The guy's arms got stronger.
It did, didn't it? Did you adjust your first children with knee, chest today?
I did.
You did. 3 of them.
Yeah.
There was a guy that, the house we went to, he pulled up his pant leg and it was all swollen and he had bandages on it. And I don't know if he had broken it. I don't know. I have no clue. He couldn't get over to the table. He was sitting in a chair. What did we do? We went over to him and we adjusted him in that chair. I don't know if he felt better. I have no clue. I was in Haiti a year and a half ago. And I was walking with a group of students and I saw this woman in kind of a doorway. And she had a little child next to her. And I don't know why I stopped. Because there are thousands of people like that in Haiti. But something told me, my innate was saying stop. Now I speak Spanish somewhat. I do not speak Creole. So I couldn't communicate with this woman in her language. But we had some interpreters. So I grabbed an interpreter and asked her to speak to this woman. What's going on with your life? What's happening? Turns out she'd given birth about 3 or 4 years earlier to her second child. And after that birth, she lost the function in her legs. Completely. She could not walk, she could not use her legs. She was a woman, I don't know, 30, 31 years old, 28, I have no clue. I didn't have my knee chest table with me. I found a bucket, a 5-gallon pail. I turned it upside down. I put a pillow on top of that bucket. I looked at her posture. I palpated, felt the movement or lack of movement in her atlas. 2 or 3 of us moved her together in a kneeling position on that knee chest. It wasn't a knee chest table. It was a bucket with a pillow. And I contacted that atlas and I adjusted her. And we carried her back to her doorway and we left. I have no clue if she's working today. I do not know. But this I do know. I know that she is better off with that adjustment. I know that through the work that we all do, that we change and transform people's lives.